From the unbelievable moment a dam in China was destroyed by a monster landslide. A man in the Philippines recorded a violent tornado in his front yard. A sudden rock slide in Pakistan forever changed the local landscape, and an avalanche in the Himalayas rushed toward a group of campers. Here are 10 natural disaster videos you have to see. Sumedang is a small landlocked town in West Java, Indonesia. The locals live in the shadow of Mount Tampomas, a 5,500-foot stratovolcano and popular climbing spot. When it comes to natural disasters, eruptions, earthquakes, and typhoons are typically on their radar. Nobody's ever thinking about tornadoes. That all changed on February 21, 2024, when a record-breaking twister tore through Sumedang. According to reports, the town was struck by a tornado of a scale previously unrecorded in the country. Here's what it looks like to get caught in the middle. Music. The rare storm tore a path of destruction across Sumedang and nearby districts. At least 30 people suffered injuries related to flying debris and collapsing homes. According to the local government, the storm impacted over 800 families while damaging or destroying 18 factories and 233 homes. Thankfully, it doesn't appear as though anybody lost their lives. Until February of 2024, Indonesia had only seen small tornadoes across all its islands. While some were strong enough to cause minor damage, none compared to this record-setting storm. On New Year's Day of 2024, a deadly 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck the western coastline of Japan. Most of the damage centered around the Noto Peninsula in Ishikawa. Locals were home celebrating and relaxing as New Year's Day is considered a public holiday in Japanese culture. One of those families kept the camera rolling when the earthquake struck. Music. Did you catch that? Not only did they catch the earthquake on camera, but a small landslide as well. Luckily, their house was strong enough to withstand the shaking, others weren't as lucky. According to reports, about 26,000 people were displaced after the earthquake destroyed their homes or rendered them unsafe. Things got worse as rain and snow moved in, triggering landslides on the weak ground. Over 1,000 aftershocks kept everything unstable for over a week. Elsewhere on the Noto Peninsula, a 10-foot tsunami washed over coastal homes, and a fire destroyed part of Wajima City. According to the USGS, Japan records more earthquakes than any other country on Earth. Guangzhou, China, is a prefecture-level city and the capital of Guangdong Province. It has a storied history dating back over 2,200 years and was once a central trade hub on the ancient Silk Road. Today, it's home to about 18 million people who don't regularly think about tornadoes. On June 16, 2022, a rare Chinese tornado touched down on the outskirts of Guangzhou. It knocked down trees, damaged power lines, and wreaked havoc on the streets below. Most of the damage was concentrated around Line 14 of the public metro station. Several power transformers also exploded, leaving residents without power for many days. Aftermath footage shows carnage in the streets, branches landed on and damaged several cars, and dozens of motorcycles were tipped over. While things looked pretty bad, nobody was seriously injured during the freak storm. The Nar Valley is a forested area about 21 miles outside the Pakistani city of Gilgit. It's famous for its gorgeous lakes surrounded on all sides by steep mountains. Tourists flock to the region to appreciate Mother Nature, but sometimes Mother Nature shows her ugly side. On August 8, 2019, spectators visiting the Nar Lakes captured a massive landslide on camera. According to one man, a jeep full of people was driving by when the rocks began falling. Thankfully, they sped out of the way moments before the mountain came crashing down. Thankfully, everybody recording was a safe distance away. They may have gotten covered in dust, but nobody was injured during the landslide. It's unclear what triggered the landslide, but it was probably due to heavy rainfall. Studies show that heavy rain accounts for 50% of the landslides in Pakistan. Marfa, Texas, is a desert city between the Davis Mountains and Big Bend National Park. In the late 19th century, the city was a crucial water stop for trains heading from New Orleans to Los Angeles. As you can imagine, there isn't much water in the Trans-Pecos Desert. On October 24, 2012, a local man was out working in his bulldozer when he saw something coming towards him. The wind kicked up, and a dust devil formed about 100 yards away. He knew he was safe inside the heavy machinery, so he held his ground and recorded as the dust devil passed clean over him. "It's coming to take me away." As far as dust devils are concerned, this one was pretty big. Thankfully, they aren't typically strong enough to cause any real damage. It's still good that our cameraman stayed inside the bulldozer. Dust devils like these can still pick up rocks and small items. According to the National Weather Service, dust devils are simple dust-filled vortices that form due to intense surface heating. They can grow between 10 and 300 feet wide and over 1,000 foot tall. They'll only last a few minutes and usually occur in dry climates like Arizona, New Mexico, and southwestern Texas. Leshan, China, is a prefecture-level city in Sichuan province. It's home to over 3 million people who love visiting the giant Buddha. The statue was carved into the mountain sometime during the Tang dynasty between the 8th and 9th centuries. The giant Buddha stands about 230 foot tall, and his feet sit just above the confluence of the Minot and Dadu rivers. Over the years, floods and landslides have significantly damaged Buddha's feet. In July of 2019, after several days of heavy rain, one of those landslides tore down the mountain and obliterated a project. Thankfully, all the workers were off that day. Aftermath photos show the brutal scar left behind after the landslide. The entire area is unrecognizable, and you can see where all their hard work was erased in seconds. Landslides and floods continued through 2019 and into 2020. At one point, water levels reached the giant Buddha's toes for the first time since 1949. The local government scrambled to protect the ancient statue, which has withstood Mother Nature's wrath for over 1,200 years. Gainesville, Texas, is a small city in Cook County. It's about 70 miles north of Dallas, near the Oklahoma border, which means it is prone to wild windstorms and frequent tornadoes. March 21, 2022, was the first day of spring in Texas. It also rang in Gainesville's first significant storm of the year. Many people were on the road when an EF1 tornado touched down in Cook County. This local man was lucky enough to stop under a bridge while the storm passed over his head. "Oh dude, holy crap. Oh geez, this is a tornado. This has got to be a tornado. Oh my gosh. Holy moly, it's throwing trash. Wow dude, alright, it's dying down. Wow, that was intense, holy moly." According to our driver, he was heading north on I-35 when hail began pelting his car. He stopped under the bridge just before exit 499 and was fortunate that an 18-wheeler parked right behind him. The truck absorbed most of the wind, leaving his car undamaged. The National Weather Service identified 9 tornadoes in North Texas that day. What's unclear is if our driver got caught in a tornado or if this was a straight windstorm that spawned from the twister in Cook County. Either way, he's lucky to have escaped unharmed. If the wind didn't get him, the lack of visibility would have. About 225 million years ago, modern-day India was an island off the Australian coast.